Welcome to BW Business World. I'm your host Siddharth, and on today's edition of BWHotwires, we have Mr. Vikram Pawah, President, BMW India, with us. Mr. Pawah, welcome to our show.
Thank you, Siddharth. Pleasure to be here. I think, first of all, wishing everyone a happy new year and hoping that 2021 is going to be a better year than 2020. So I think once we look back at our result in 2020, I think as an auto industry, obviously we were not immune from that COVID situation. So all of us faced a lockdown for that 3 or 4 months of the year, which impacted our volumes. But when I look at BMW as a business and both our car business and motorcycle business, I think we have outperformed the segment in a fantastic way. So if I look at the car segment, decline was only 31.5% compared to, I think, the industry, which was much higher, or even the luxury segment has been pretty high in terms of its decline. So clearly shows that our strategies of product, customer and brand are working really strong. And also in our motorrad business and two-wheeler business, which is fairly new business for us, we grew by 6.7% in a declining market. So really proud that the teams both in the car and the motorcycle outperformed and shown in 2020.
Great, sir. So my first question to you is typically about the pandemic. Now, the whole auto industry has been going through a lot of ups and downs in the past couple of years. And then we had the lockdown, and in April, we saw zero sales. So during this particular, the whole 2020 has been a bad year for the auto sector. And I would like to understand, how was it for the BMW group in terms of labor shortages, in terms of work from home, in terms of the whole dealerships being shut down? And since these are luxury cars, they need maintenance. How did you cater to your customers? Then also, digitization has played a very big role in the industry. Now, we find a lot of auto majors getting on the digital bandwagon as well. So I'd like to understand the whole situation that 2020 was for BMW Group.
Yeah, Siddharth, you're right. I think 2020 was one of those years which I don't think any one of us are going to forget in our lifetime. Right? I think we were posed with so many challenges, and there is no rule book how to tackle these challenges. But like I said, I think our teamwork between our teams and our dealer network teams, their resilience actually made sure that we adapted very, very rapidly. And I think we were pioneers in many ways in the industry in doing that, which was fantastic. So if I look back and start thinking about, when the pandemic started in March, end of March, I think it was towards that last week of March, and then we had to face a shutdown. So the first thing that came to our mind was making sure that our customers and our team at dealerships and our staff are safe. I think that was number one priority. So we adapted fairly quickly to that environment. We transformed ourselves into a virtual organization almost overnight, and we were able to keep ourselves operationally capable in spite of the shutdown. So there was not even a single day that our company did not operate. Obviously, we had to shut down our dealerships, in the containment zone. We had to shut down our plant in between as well. But our company, our contact with our customers remained intact across that shutdown period as well. How did we do that? We were pioneers in contactless journeys. So we made sure that we immediately adapted to a contactless sales experience for our customers, a contactless service experience for our customers, and also ensuring that if anybody needed any help or any query about their products while using them as well, we made sure that we were available in an online platform for our customers. So a great, I think, achievement there to do that during that lockdown period. And what that ensured was that our customers were constantly in touch with us. So when the lockdown lifted, really see the demand coming back. We saw rapid recovery in Q3, for example. Slowly the demand started picking up. Obviously, at that stage, there were still many containment zones that were happening across the country. There would be on and off lockdowns. So we had to tackle that in a very agile way, which we did. Okay. And then in Q4, we ensured that we continued with our strategy of launching fantastic products. So normally in a crisis year, you will shy back and say, let me defer everything that I have on plan. But as BMW, as we typically do it, we went the other way around and said, no, we will continue with our sound strategy of launching great products, because I think people do deserve to have some positivity in this environment. So we ended up launching great product like the 2 Grand Coupe during the festive season, gave us fantastic response. We could clearly see a strong recovery in Q4, especially in November and December. So I think if I look at the year, then at the end of the year, we outperformed the segment because of these consistent, agile, adaptable strategies that we could adapt in this tough environment. So all well done. Could have been better. I'm sure all of us will be sitting here and saying, would have been really good if the decline didn't take place. But I think we are all pragmatic, and we understand that this is an unprecedented scenario. But finally, for us, we still came out of it in a much, much sounder way than the rest of the industry.
So now you have been the CEO of BMW New Zealand and Australia. So I would like to understand what kind of challenges and differences are you seeing between the Australia and New Zealand market and India?
So Siddharth, I think the main difference in markets normally happens at 2 levels. One is the size of the market itself, and the second one is about the maturity of the market. And I think the first one determines the volume potential. The second aspect determines the complexity of the market. Okay, so if I look at the Australian and New Zealand market, it's probably half the size of the Indian market when I look at the overall automotive market as such. It's roughly around 1.2 to 1.5 million. Indian market at its peak has been 3 million, has a potential to go up to maybe 5 million sooner or later. So a different volume potential altogether in that respect. When it comes to the maturity, obviously the Australian and New Zealand market are much more mature markets. So there's not much growth that you expect there, but the complexity of the operation is much, much higher in terms of the number of models and variants that you sell in this market. It's quite a fragmented market, being individual choice in luxury segment, compared to Indian market where it's still evolving. It's in its nascent stage, so you see those niche segments evolving slowly. So I think that's the main difference. But having said that, I think the task for any CEO is always the same in every market, right? You're going to maximize the business, you're going to grow the market, you're going to grow your market share, you're going to grow the profit, and you're going to make sure that your dealers are profitable and you're able to reach out and service the customer in a fantastic way. So from that perspective, I think Indian market has got great potential. And I see Indian market as a very strategic market for BMW. I think this is a growth frontier. We have invested heavily in India already. We continue to invest in India even further. So if I look at the 3 Grand Limousine that we're launching today, okay, that model is locally produced in India, and India is the only market in the world that actually produces and sells this model in the right-hand drive version. That is the uniqueness of it. So that shows our commitment to India, that we are able to produce a model specifically for India and not for export as such, right? The only other market that still sells this product is actually China, but they do it in the left-hand drive version. So great potential we see in India, and we'll continue investing with our dealer network, with our plant, with our new models. Exciting times ahead in 2021 hours for BMW brand as such.
Great. So now you spoke about 3GL, and now the 3GL as a product has actually, if I could use the word, solved certain issues with the 3 Series, which is space is one, and driving comfort. But do you really think a 3GL was necessary, and this is what the BM fans wanted?
So Siddharth, I think BMW fans are very fond of the 3 Series overall, right? That's the soul of our brand, if you look at it. And I think world over, people have appreciated the 3 Series over the years, and even in India, since we launched the 3 Series, it has been our biggest seller. But what we've also found was there was a big portion of customers who would want a bigger sedan, right? Because for them, the need was not only just to drive, but also to be driven around. Okay, so there are customers in India we know who like to be driven around. They drive occasionally, but most of the time they're driving around. Or there are customers who like to travel with their families. Okay, and they need a little bit more space than what 3 Series offer. 3 Series is a fantastic sporty sedan. Nothing's wrong with that product, right? That's a product that's done so well for us. But I think the demand from customers was coming is that can I have this in a different avatar as well, right? So that I can enjoy the luxury of it on a longer drive, being driven around, or with my family. So I think the 3 grand limousine is a perfect answer to that need, because we've given the choice to the customer now. If you want to drive on your own, okay, and you want a sporty sedan, the 3 Series is there for you. Okay, if you want to be driven around mostly, but occasionally drive, then the 3 grand limousine is for you, because the driving dynamics of a 3 grand limousine is fantastic. Okay, and so is the additional space you get, the additional comfort you get at the back, the technology, the features are equivalent to a 3 Series. So you get best of everything in that. So it's a car for a person who wants it all, right? You want it to be a versatile car. You want it to be a family car. Because of that, I think we know Corona taught us this, right? That we spend a lot of time with our families, okay? And I think we're going to spend a lot of time with our families driving around as well. Because I think the days of that air travel the way it used to be, it'll take some time to come back to that level, okay? Till that time, I'm sure we'll find a lot of ways to go for driving holidays and for staycations. And for that, I think a family sedan like a 3 Series is a fantastic option for our customers.
So now in the last question you spoke about localization of the 3GL. Now this is the only sedan which is right-hand drive and made in India. So now staying on the same path, the government of India is really pushing Atmanirbhar Bharat and self-reliance. And we've seen a lot of action on this front last year. So I'd like to understand BMW Group's initiative towards localization, because the more you localize, the more aggressive pricing you can do, and it's better for both the company and the customer.
Siddharth, I think BMW has been a pioneer again in this field. I think we set up our plant 11, 12 years ago. And we set it up much ahead of the demand even picking up in the Indian market, because we knew that Indian market will deliver with time. I think there have been a little bit of hiccups with the Corona or demonetization, those kind of hiccups happen. But if you look at the long-term growth of the Indian market, that remains still solid and robust. So we have invested in our plant Chennai. Most of our, what we call as the Main Street models that we sell in India are produced locally in plant Chennai. So 3 grand limousine is the 12th product that will be produced locally in plant Chennai, right? So that shows again that we are here to produce locally for the local demand for our customers in India. Also from a localization front, again, we have taken the step much ahead of even the call out from the government for self-reliance and Atmanirbhar Bharat. I think even a few years ago, there was this talk about Make in India. So we've been making in India. Our localization content is over 50% now for our model range. And we continue to develop that obviously with time. But what's required for that to happen, to further, to take it to the next level, is obviously the volume development. So what we invested in India with certain volume projections. We invested in localization with certain volume projections, and we don't think we are there as yet. And I think for that, we always seek the support, we always seek the guidance from the government to ensure that the policies are in that right framework that develops the volume for the industry and for ourselves. Because once that happens, we can localize even more. But till that point, I have reached a stage where I have to say, okay, now I've localized a lot. Now I need to develop that volume to go to that next level of localization. But having said that, we continue to deliver fantastic value to our customers, So we always make sure that the customer is the centerpiece of our strategy all the time. So we make sure that they get the value that they deserve. However, certain things I can't control. Taxes are not something which are under my control. I have to pass it on to a customer. And I think that's where my hands get tied a little bit. And I feel that sometimes our customers suffer a little bit more than the rest of the world in terms of the disparity in taxation between the premium cars and the base cars. So maybe the government will listen to us at the right time and remove that disparity and give that value back to the customers.
So now, staying on the path of coronavirus, now that we've seen the vaccine being rolled out, so do you think going forward, BMW Group in India would open up its hiring, would look at hiring more talent across India?
So I think, Siddharth, for us, like I said, India is a strategic investment market, and we have been investing for a long time, right? And I think we've been able to maintain our dealer network. We've been able to grow our dealer network even during this pandemic time. I think these are tough calls we had to take. That normally you would lose some part of your dealer network because of the crisis situation. We ensured that our entire dealer network was stable. Obviously, they did suffer because of the shutdowns, but we all made sure that we survived together. Similarly, we actually opened a few more touch points even during the crisis year. We will continue to open even more dealer networks during 2021 and beyond. Obviously, we'll pace the release of those new dealer network depending on how the corona situation is developing in those local areas. But our commitment to grow the network, to grow the volumes in India continues, and that will be our strategy. And for that, we will be launching 25 new products across our three brands of BMW, Mini, and BMW Motorrad in 2021. So we are serious about growing the business, and I think no other manufacturer can probably talk about such a big product offensive. We are proud of that, and I think we are serious that we want to grow the market. So we will launch these 25 products across these three brands: 15 in BMW, 5 in Mini, and 5 in BMW Motorrad. So exciting time ahead with the BMW group as usual.
Great, sir. That was my next question about your 2021 outlook. But now that you've already explained that, I would like to understand a small question on how has the luxury car market fared throughout the COVID pandemic? I mean, are the luxury buyers really affected by the lockdowns and the financial security issues that has been happening?
So I think the impact is across the industry, across the spectrum, right? So that does happen now. Certain segments get impacted a little bit more than the other segments. What we witnessed was, the top end of the luxury segment was something that wasn't impacted during this COVID situation. And performance car, for example, have actually seen a growth in 2020 in spite of the crisis situation. So these things do happen. However, like I said, I think that was only a technical glitch in between. So because of that physical lockdown that happened, but since that, the recovery has been very strong, and I'm very confident that in 2021, the luxury car market will bounce back. And as I expect that people will be taking more driving holidays, right? So we need more luxurious spaces to have a nice driving holiday with our family, because I'm sure, Siddharth, when even you want to go with your family or with your friends, you want to have a luxury holiday. You don't want to compromise yourself in any way. So I think the need and demand for luxury cars will actually increase with this change in behavior of our customers in India. Okay.
So, sir, tell us what are the expectations from the luxury car market from the budget 2021? Sir, now my last question, and this is on a lighter note. Sir, as a leader, I want to understand your key learnings from the COVID pandemic and the big lockdown that we all went through.
I think a couple of learnings came out of COVID, and I think we've had a lot of time to reflect on that, because we had a lot of time on our own, not traveling. And I think for me, travel used to be a big part earlier, and suddenly I could find that my day was much productive, probably, because I'm not sitting in planes going across continents and things like that. So that saved me a lot of time, and I was able to be more efficient, let's put it that way. So that was one key learning, that there are other ways of conducting business. Obviously, I'm not saying that the human interaction disappears, but I think we can find the right balance between virtual and the physical formats to become even more productive or become more efficient as a society and as business. That's the first learning. The second learning, I think, from a personal level, would be that don't take things for granted. I think that's a very key learning. We have to accept what comes our way. I think it's been a very tough situation for everyone on a personal level, I'm sure, and other than business level. So let's not take things for granted. It is time to actually enjoy as well. We have to enjoy smaller things in life, the bigger things in life, and I think that's where our industry comes, especially in the luxury side, in a big way, is because as humans we want to spoil ourselves in the end, right? We love spoiling ourselves, and I think with great motorcycles, with great cars, I'm really happy that I can contribute that to the society. I can give you that experience. I can give you that pride of enjoying your life. So I think great learnings, but good thing is we all came out of it safe and sound. I think that's been really good. So let's keep it that way, and let's make sure that we enjoy life.
Thank you for talking to us, Mr. Pawah. That was a great conversation, and we wish you a very happy and a safe new year.
Thank you, Siddharth, and once again, wishing all your viewers a happy new year. And let's stay safe, let's stay healthy, and like I said, let's enjoy life as well. All right. So thank you for having me.